Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 2. In the last episode, we got the gravity boost, defeated the Alpha Blog, been running around Hydro Dynamo Station a bit, and in this episode, we're going to keep exploring the Dark World, since we can get to some new areas now. We've got some pistons here. Luckily, these pistons aren't like the Prime Hunter's pistons in that they make you absolutely hate your life. So, oh, we've got some Hunter Ing here. It's probably just the easiest to avoid this guy, since the door's not locked. He's really not going to do much to you. They're only really annoying if you try to fight them and you don't have some of the proper upgrades. We have a bit of a maze here. We just kind of have to figure out where to jump. Now, if you jump up and to the right here, there's a missile expansion just kind of hidden there. It's a really well hidden expansion. Of course, you can hear that it's there if you are listening to the sounds and you hear the item is close sound. So we've got a crystal here, and if we shoot it with the dark beam, it will deactivate this barrier and also activate those platforms. So we're back in the same room that we came in when we activated the last lock, but we're doing a different goal now. There are some light pirates, not light pirates, dark pirates that are going to go to light beam. Now these platforms do kind of go in and out, so you have to make sure that you time your jumps well enough that you can make it across. In this room, I think there's some Darkling tentacles. Yep. Just roll under these guys and boost. It's a lot faster than trying to shoot your way through them. And it's going to lead us to the center of the Hydro Dynamo Station in the Dark World, which is called Under Temple Shaft. And basically we need to jump down and actually get into the Morph Ball Cannon launcher here, because we need to go to the top of the room. And there's Dark Preed up here, and there's also a save station just like there was in the Light World. So I definitely recommend coming here and saving, especially since you need to take the cannon up anyways. So once you are done with that, just jump down here. In the middle there is a Morph Ball Bomb slot that rotates this kind of cage around, and we'll need to do that for now since we don't have what we need to move through the area otherwise. And this is the door that we need, fortuitously enough. I'm very low on light beam ammo. I would recommend stocking up on light beam ammo before going to the next room, because we are going to have a fight coming up in which it will be useful. So now we're in the upper area of this room that we were in before, and we have ourselves another mini-boss. So this is the Grapple Guardian. Takes a while to scan. Grapple Beam powered Darkling. Well, armored target utilizes Grapple Beam to ensnare enemies. Weak spots detected, back shell and eye. Uses special attack when angered. This Darkling Grunchler has absorbed the power of the Grapple Beam. It will fire the beam to snare potential meals and pull them into its weighted jaws. The beam is powerful and can attach to most surfaces, including your armor. Its eye region is sensitive. Damage in the area can induce a state of anger in the target. A weak spot under the shell is a prime target as well. When angered, it will use a special attack. So, our goal with the Grapple Guardian here is going to be shooting a tie to irritate it. And then when you do that enough, it's going to aim and try to fire like a grapple beam at you. And if you get it to attach to these pillars on the side of the room, you can dash behind it and get around to its backside and damage it. And so that's going to be our strategy for the first part of the fight here. Good thing about the fight is that we're hanging around in a safe zone. For whatever reason, this fight seems to be kind of buggy in that if it's too close to the pillar that's trying to attach to, it just won't attach sometimes. So sometimes it's actually better to just swap sides and get it to attach to the pillar on the other side of the room, just because it's a lot more successful at doing that. So the light beam, like charged light beam shots, are probably the best damage that you can do. You can use super missiles alternatively, but they do. I think the charged light beam shots might actually do like more damage. So you can see what happens when you mess up. It latches onto you, does a lot of damage, and not a fun time. So don't do that. Once you get its health low enough, however, it will kind of go into a second phase. It's not like a distinct different phase that you need to scan. It just behaves slightly differently. Okay, there we go. So the second phase that I talked about is after you blow off its tail. So now you can actually damage it by using its eye. I believe it will not be able to grapple to these things on the side anymore, so you're basically just going to have to do damage to it directly. Oh, that was weird. I guess when it doesn't hit the middle, it kind of travels for a little bit before it goes. So, using a super missile is really effective here. I think charged light shots will also work. You don't have a ton of time between when you actually get the stun and when it starts firing at you to hit it, so I think super missile might be a little bit easier. But for defeating Grapple Guardian, we get the grapple beam. The obvious titles continue, but grapple beam will be very helpful. We get a lot of movement-based items in Torvus. We got the boost ball here. We get the gravity boost, and now the grapple beam. So we're just getting, all the things that we need to move around. I mean, it's not everything, but they can't put all of the upgrades in the same area. So once you defeat Grapple Guardian, the floor will lower here. There are grates that are blocking these two doors on the left and right now, which means we can't actually get to them until we have a power-up that we can't get yet. But once you get the grapple beam, don't forget to scan grapple points, since they're now available for you. I use the grapple beam, so yeah, you know how to use the grapple beam. Just use Z. And, you know, release when you want to get off. So that will be the end of our travels in the Dark World. We're going to head back. Back to the Light World. Since our business here is done. But now we can use the grapple beam hooks to swing across here, and we don't need to move the cage around, which, you know, saves us a lot of time. So I'm just gonna boost under these again. We should be back in the catacombs, I believe. Oh, nope, this is the crypt. Regardless, we can still get back to the Light World from here, so goodbye, pirates. Alright, oh, hey, there's a lore entry down here that I totally forgot about. I'm glad I came back in this area, otherwise I might have missed it. Not that, you know, it is going anywhere and that I permanently miss it or anything, but it's just good to have now. Luminoth lore translated the new terror. In time, the Ing began to possess Luminoth as well as creatures. Friends and family members became the enemy, spilling Luminoth blood across the land. Desperate, we devised shielding to prevent Ing possession. It was effective, but not perfect. Should the shielding fail, all Luminoth were prepared to self-terminate rather than become a weapon for the Ing. Alright. So, you can actually kind of like come out of the water here and use the grapple hooks to kind of skip a little, which is nice. So, there's actually something that I totally forgot to do right after the Alpha Blog fight, you know, after we picked up the gravity boost, and so I'm going to do that right now. It's not like too out of the way for us at this point. I just kind of forgot that I needed to do it. So we'll just boost through here, and, you know, we're actually already right where we need to be. If you gravity boost up through here, there's a portal to the Dark World, and I can totally see why I forgot to get this, because it's like not too well hidden, but, you know, it's not right in the way. But right outside of this portal is a Dark Temple key, you know. something that we do need to collect. I know it is possible in the GameCube version to skip the Sanctuary Temple keys. You can also just straight up skip the Dark Suit if you want to. Just because by doing sequence breaks, you can get the Light Suit a lot earlier than you're supposed to. And, you know, once you have the Light Suit, you don't need the Dark Suit at all. So, save you time. So, now that we have all of these upgrades, our time here in the Hydrodynamo Station is actually up. There's really not much more that we can do down here for the time being, so I'm going to make my way out. I'll ride this elevator back up. And now we're back up here in Upper Torvis, but we're not going to be staying here for long. We have the Seeker missiles, and so now we can access these doors. And this particular elevator is going to take us back to Agon Wastes. So we're doing a little bit of item cleanup now that we're a little bit better equipped. So of course there's a secret missile door on this side as well. These doors can be a bit finicky. The way that they're supposed to work is that the game wants you to hit them. Let's see. Yeah, the game wants you to like hit them all around the same time, but sometimes one of the missiles kind of like goes haywire and then it doesn't hit properly. If you can react fast enough, which is pretty difficult to do, you can like just manually fire a missile afterwards, but you know the timing is pretty tight, so usually you just have to end up doing it over again. So we actually want to head to the temple or roundabouts. Ran into a whole bunch of shriek bats there. But our goal here is on the left side of the temple behind this dark beam door. And there's an energy tank that we're going to be getting. This area can be a bit confusing. It's one giant like morph ball tunnel maze. So you start, if you want to get the energy tank, you have to start right there. Okay, so this part is a bit tricky. You can see I can jump up here, and that's actually how you get to the energy tank. If you kept rolling to the left, right where I jumped there, you'd fall down, and of course that's not what you want to do. The rest of the tunnel, however, if you go to the bottom, will take you to a secret missile door here at the bottom. So this was the end goal. This is the area that we wanted to get to. We can scan this to activate the cannon back up, which we'll need on our way out. There is a new enemy here. We've seen their cousin, the green Kraly, but this is the just normal red one. Kraly, dimensional warping bioform. Able to phase out of local time-space, target creature before it warps to damage it. Kraly phases between dimensions as a defense mechanism. A crystal in its carapace gathers energy to fuel creation of a warp portal. The process is uncontrollable, keeping the Kraly in a constant dimensional flux. So, we have a bit of a puzzle. It's not really all that complicated, but I believe when we hit this, it's going to cause that to spin. Now, that's not really going to do anything in its current configuration, but you see there's another area over here. And if we head over to this orb cannon, I'm not sure if we're going to make it in time. Oh, hey, we actually did. I was not expecting to do that. Basically, what you need to do is hit this second morph ball bomb slot to raise it up, and then you can make it spin, and it'll open up that portal for you. But we have some more lore here. New weapons. Our studies of the Ing revealed the source of their attacks is dark energy. We built weapons to use this energy, thinking it could overload enemy targets and eliminate them. We soon learned our error, as the dark beam was not of great effect on the Ing. We then began to develop a weapon that used light energy. This weapon would dispatch the Ing with terrible efficiency. So you can see they're talking about the two beams that we currently have in our possession now. In order to actually get up to the, I don't know if you want to call it a drill, but to get up to the portal, we're going to need to take this half pipe, which the half pipes in Prime 1, you really didn't have to go all that high to get up. Prime 2, they seem to really like putting a lot of taller half pipes in for use with the boost ball. Just wanted to show off, you know, how quick you take it, but we're gonna make our way to the Dark World. And now that we are here, I think this is a decent place to end off this episode. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 2. I've been redxparasite, signing out.